Hello, it's time for SmackDown. Wow, I am tired this evening, but SmackDown is getting going. Where do we begin after last week with all the craziness with Solo Sikoa? I'm still. It looks like we're getting a brotherhood of steel. I've been watching too much Fallout, a bloodline civil war, and I'm here for it. So before we get going, let's have an intro from, I say it every week, someone we miss.
This is Big E from the new day. Give me that whole yeah. Give it to me. I need it.
Yeah, thank you, Big E. Awesome. Would you believe that when we were, well, not me, but when Andy was in Philadelphia for WrestleMania very, very recently, he bumped into Shotzi. But I don't know if he said to her, Shotzi, thank you very much for doing our Gimme a Whole Yeah intro, because obviously we had one from Shotzi as well. Oh, what the hell? Let's play it, shall we?
Hello, this is Shotzi Blackheart, and welcome to Gimme a Whole Yeah! I hope everyone checking this out in Yorkshire and beyond is having a great day.
Yeah, there it is. Told you. So I think it wouldn't have been lost on Andy. He probably would have said, but I haven't actually asked him yet and said, did you actually say thank you to Shotzi? But he might not have thought. He might have been a bit starstruck, even a professional like him. So yeah, AJ Styles and LA Knight. I nearly called him LA Styles then, and AJ Knight. You can tell it's been a long day. But yeah, that kicks off the show tonight. How exciting. Bit of a WrestleMania rematch, this one. Like, I thought they had an all right match at Mania, but it wasn't. There were so many things at Mania this year that, like, I wanted to watch that, you know, and I was excited for that. I was happy that these two were on the card, but, you know, any other day of the week, this would have been an amazing match. Because there was so much crazy stuff at Mania this year, I don't know, it fell by the wayside a little bit for me. So let's just jump onto some comments. Let's have a look. See you soon. Oh, that's me. That's me as well. Here we go. Misfit's on his Twitch account tonight. You know, he's serious. He's not playing games. WWE and Marigold expect talent exchanges that benefit Marigold. He brought up talents in WWE that aren't being used as much currently. I've got one question, though, Misfit. Thank you for that information, but one very important question. Who the bloody hell is Marigold? Or what the hell is Marigold? Getting off to a fast start, Knight and Styles. Hell yeah. I vote for LA Knight. Welcome to Happy Friday. Do you know what, Hassan? I've actually got it working tonight. So, shall we have a poll? I've actually got it working tonight because I'm on the other computer. Aha. Right, here we go. Let me just quickly log back into YouTube. Oh. Quick. Mute that. There we go. Right, let's go. So who wins? I always want to do the Big Brother voice, the Geordie accent. You decide when I say who wins. It's a Big Brother reference. So AJ Styles, LA Knight. Yeah. Right. Hassan and everybody else, that is live. Boom. And let's have a banner while we're here. So, because I need something to put on now and leave there for 2 hours. You know I want to do that. So on now, AJ. I think the other guys, when they do this, I don't think they just read it out like I do. I don't know what it is. LA Knight. Oh, I could spell, wouldn't it? LA Knight. I was going to put, yeah, but then I kind of thought that might be a bit biased in favour of LA Knight. I think AJ is going to take Hassan. It's up for grabs. Yeah. Marigold is Rossi Aguara's new promotion. Yeah, so I've heard about Rossi's new promotion and what he's doing. I didn't know it was called Marigold because I'm not going to lie. I've seen it pop up on links and stuff. I've just not clicked. But because I'm not a big like follower of, I suppose, female Japanese wrestling. I haven't really been following the story, but yeah, good for him. Hope it does well. Of course, more wrestling, more quality wrestling. Everybody benefits, don't they? And we're already on an ad break. Damn it, America. But anyway, okay. We have ads here too, by the way, just not quite as bad as you guys. So I poured myself a double earlier, and I think that's a little bit liberal for a double, isn't it? So she's gonna tell me off, and she realizes I've used it all up. But there's some ice in it. That's diluted it a bit. But look at that! Look at that bad boy! Look at that! Oh yeah, that hit the spot. So we've got an ad break already. How is everybody? It's nice to have you here. I very nearly didn't make it to SmackDown tonight. I was falling asleep on the couch watching Collision. And, well, that's what you get for watching Collision, I suppose. Ooh, shots fired on a SmackDown podcast. No. It was just, I'm just tired. I wasn't really throwing shade at AEW. I like AEW, of course. But yeah, thank you for joining me this evening. A quick little bit of housekeeping tonight. So I felt like last week we got a little bit hijacked by all the CM Punk, Young Bucks silliness. I feel a little bit better about that this week. I've had a week just to kind of stew on it, and I'm not letting that get in the way of this stream. So tonight, if CM Punk comes up in conversation, that's fine. We're going to talk about him as a member of the roster, if that's the case, but we're not going to discuss any of that BS with him and Jack Perry or any of the BS that's going on in AEW at the moment involving the Young Bucks. Like, I've got no beef with AEW whatsoever. I'm a big fan, but we're not going to talk about any of that tribal crap tonight. And I don't mean that in a Roman Reigns sense. I mean that in a, I promised at the start of the stream last week we wouldn't do that, and we still did. And I suppose it was inevitable. It was a bit ambitious of me looking back to say we're not going to talk about that, but I don't think it is this week. So if you would like, again, if you guys talk about it, that's fine. But I'm not going to be highlighting any comments discussing that situation this week. So there we go. Or ever again. I'm done with it. And everybody else should be done with it too. Rumor is Juliet will be allowed to work both WWE and Marigold. No way. No way. That is so weird, isn't it? And do you know what? I believe it as well, because, I mean, the Triple H era isn't the Vince era, is it? Sorry, squeaky chair. But WWE under Triple H and somewhat Nick Khan seem to be open to more crossovers with other promotions, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Me, I'm a fan of the Forbidden Door. TNA and WWE seem to have an all right working relationship these days. In fact, quick plug from me: if you go on to WrestleSphere, I'll be uploading the whole thing to YouTube soon enough, maybe Monday. But if you go onto WrestleSphere at the moment, have a little look. You can see my interview with Ash by Elegance, aka Dana Brooke. And I've got to say, one of the nicest people I've ever interviewed. She was absolutely lovely, and you won't see this on the interview when I upload it because we'll edit it out because we sort of have to. But there's a bit where my dogs break in to this room and start barking, and her dogs. So Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance dogs hear my dogs, and they start barking. So I just thought that was quite funny. But there you go. Once again, my dogs hijack a stream or an interview. So it was kind of funny. But she was laughing her head off. She thought it was the funniest thing ever. She's got 2 dogs. I've got a couple of dogs. So there you go. It was just funny. I think it was because as well my wife had just come through the door, other side of the house, but they were going mad because she was back. And they were letting me know she was back. So, when she's home, the dogs come running all the way here, and they bang open this door to tell me, which is because the dogs. So there you go. And who's tweeting me? Is it you, Misfit? No. It's Gerald at bodyslam.net. Shout out to Gerald at bodyslam.net for tweeting me or retweeting me or whatever it is you just did, Gerald. But thank you very much. I don't think Gerald watches the stream, but obviously he should. Okay. So, again, these two rematch. Who's winning this? Because my money's on AJ. I'll tell you why. AJ's a heel. And it's just got more heat to it going into Backlash. Still don't know if I'm going to be at Backlash yet. We are waiting to hear back from WWE. Like, we're often confident when it comes to the UK stuff, but it's a little bit different with France because we're sort of competing with the French media as well. So we'll see what happens. So best case scenario, I'm there covering it. Worst case scenario, I'm probably right here covering it on the podcast. So win-win. Who cares? Let's have another drink of this alcoholic beverage. I should really nurse it. It's got to last me 2 hours, this. So I don't know if anyone was watching earlier this evening. We had another stream, Andy Spores and I, and we were on Wrestling Royalty as well. And we were having a chat about the new era that WWE is in. We were just focused on WWE at this point, and it was pretty cool. We were talking about, Cody and what this all means. So it's on for about an hour. So if you're doing some housework or whatever else, or walking the dogs and you want something casual to listen to, we do crack a few jokes as well. Go and watch Andy and I discussing that. We do drop a couple of interesting bits of information that you might not know. And there's also a bit of a conspiracy. Well, it's on my part regarding Dom. So we're planning on having we don't know what I can't say it yet, but we've got a bit of a plan for the draft next week. We might do a little bit of an us versus them, maybe with the Rebellious Noise guys, or maybe we'll do it Gimme versus Wrestling Royalty, or whatever. God knows what side I'm going to be on. But this is the heart. And like last year, if you watched that when we did it with the Rebellious Noise guys, Dom went in proper Diva Dom mode, and so I've said to Andy, I'm counting on Dom just not watching this and not watching that one. I'm going to try and kind of like make a few deliberate mistakes just to see if I can bring out Diva Dom, because it's always good viewing. It's always good. It's always a good stream when Dom gets passionate. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm tempted to kind of like be on the opposite side to him maybe, and maybe take Bo Dallas in the Uncle Howdy in the draft, or I might be on his side and accidentally let Bo Dallas slip through our fingers. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But speaking of Bo Dallas and his brother who we miss, there is a dude in the front row dressed as Bray Wyatt. So that guy wins SmackDown tonight. Well done. Oh, he's got this. The problem with these awesome matches on Raw and SmackDown is ad breaks. Break it all. That's why I love pay-per-views so much. Phenomenal forearm. Here he comes. Oh, no. Does AJ cheat to win this? Like Misfit, not Misfit. You voted for him, haven't you, Hassan? Who else has voted? Very quiet tonight. A little bit thin on the ground. Where's the usual suspects? Norma, are you about, mate? Without comments to read out, I sort of have to vamp. I mean, Vince would occasionally let someone like Killian Dane do an ICW, but that's only because they were working together. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think in that particular day and age, when it was I think it was ICW, WXW, Progress, and Evolve. They were all affiliated with WWN Live, and at the same time, WWN Live was affiliated with WWE. So yeah, it was almost like WWE was using the WWN and affiliated with WWN, but not owned by them, shows like Progress, ICW, and WXW as satellites, particularly in Europe. So yeah, and let's be honest, they ended up buying Evolve, didn't they? Did absolutely F all with it, which really annoys me because I was a big Evolve guy. I loved Evolve. It was my favorite indie. I know GCW and things like that existed at the time, but back then, pre-pandemic, particularly like the New Orleans WrestleMania, and just after that, WWN and Evolve was the king of the indies for me. It really was. Like, some people talk about Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, but let's be honest with Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, unless you live in LA and you can get down to wherever there is that they have their shows, you either buy the DVDs or you watch their stream on demand a year later. So who the hell cares about Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is my attitude. Don't make it accessible. I don't care. Uh-oh. We're getting a recap. How funny was my reaction, though, last week? That was I absolutely lost my mind, didn't I, when that happened? It was ace. I think AJ's going to take it. Yeah. Cody Rhodes versus AJ for the WWE Championship. WWE pay-per-view main event. Would have ever, though. Wouldn't even... You might need to tell me that again, dude. I'm a bit confuzzled. Do you think Cena will get his 17 titles before he retires? Hi, Matthew Lincoln. Yeah, I do. I don't know when. I don't know how. But if they're going to... Oh, there's a spanner in the works, though, isn't there? Like, they could give him the big gold belt, but I don't see anybody taking that off Cody anytime soon. You know, not until at least Mania. And even then, I'm a bit unsure. We'll see. There's the Tama Tonga. I can't believe Tama Tonga's in WWE. That's mad. Come on, Jacob, for 2. Let's be having you. That totally skipped NXT, didn't he, Tama? Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship on the WWE pay-per-view main event. Who'd have ever thought? Yeah, I suppose so. Let's be honest. Dream match. Like in WWE dream match. Like their paths have never crossed elsewhere, if I recall. You know, AJ went from TNA to New Japan, stint in Ring of Honor with New Japan, and from there, the Royal Rumble straight to WWE. So yeah, Cody at that time I think Cody was in TNA while AJ was in New Japan. Cody then went and had a stint on the Indies, ended up in Ring of Honor and New Japan. I think from there, then made his way to AEW, didn't he? So, and that by then, AJ was already in WWE. So yeah, there you go. Dream match. And there's plenty of time for them to do plenty of time, for them to do LA Knight versus Cody at some point in the future. With the two of them being I nearly said stars of tomorrow, stars of today, aren't they? So I can confirm WWE is going away from WWE signs new talent and changes their name or gimmick. So I've heard that they're gonna. It depends on the person, but they are a lot more open to keeping it around if that person is already an established name. But they were getting better at that. There used to be a time where they did that for near enough everyone. In recent years, even under Vince, they were getting a little bit better at that. People like Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, blah blah blah. Although they did call Keith Lee Bearcat for some reason. But yeah, some gimmicks from the indies won't work in WWE. None spring to mind right now, but I've thought of a bunch of them in the past. Some just won't work. Some just simply aren't good enough. Some have connotations that can't be used, where most are fine. So, and AEW make it work as well, don't they? And so did TNA. You're starting to see it with Tama Tonga, and you'll see it with Julia. Well, they've already confirmed Julia's Julia, haven't they? They did it on NXT. So, changing Tama Tonga's name just wouldn't have worked. He's been in the game too long. Same with AJ Styles. No one would have accepted it. I'm amazed they got away with doing it to Finn Balor, to be honest. But Prince Devitt was always going to be a name he was going to outgrow, wasn't it, I suppose? But yeah, good. I'm glad that they're, I think you forget sometimes, dude. We have a direct line to them as well. The only thing that will change is that Julia is her theme. Well, yeah, because it depends on music rights, doesn't it? If she doesn't own her music, she don't get to bring it. Unless the artist's cool. And just like with Downstate. But let's be honest, Downstate, you have a relationship with pretty much every promotion. Every big one, anyway. Oh, yeah. They could buy the rights to a theme. She does own that theme. Yeah. Sometimes, though, a new theme can be a banger, can't it? Sometimes a new theme is exactly what somebody needs for a new era. Because, look, I'm not a huge Julia fan, not because I think there's anything wrong with her, just I've not seen enough of her work to really be that interested. I'm sure I will be now she's in WWE, where I can't ignore her. But so I couldn't even I could hear it on the radio and not know it was Julia's theme, But because if my cat's trying to get out of this room, you're not going. You're going to wake up, mummy. No. If I ever watch Japanese wrestling, it's usually New Japan as opposed to Stardom or anything like that. Just the way it is. I ain't got time. I just haven't got time. I think because there's so much more wrestling I'd like to watch. I'd like to start watching GCW, but I haven't got. There's no world where I have enough time to do that. AAW is another one I've watched in the past, but these days there's just no chance. I'm just too busy these days. Their debut match in NXT is set to be Heatwave. Oh, good. Challenge for one of the NXT titles. I am looking forward to that, I must say. The rumoured match is Julia versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT's women's title. I watched the crap out of that. I look forward to that. I love Roxanne Perez. I think Roxy needs to win, first of all, though. I don't think you should just come in and win straight away. But I think they're building up Roxy to be a star. One sec, guys. Just telling off my cat. Because what he wants to do is break out of this room. No chance. Turn off your fandom and turn on your booking head. No way are they going to do that. Roxanne Perez will be holding that for a while, methinks. Makes far more sense to have a bit of a chase from Julia. I'd be shocked if she won straight away. Yeah, but we don't know any of this is true, though, do we? This is speculation. And you, Misfit Wrestling Podcast, do have a tendency to get carried away with your fandom of women's Japanese wrestling. Just saying. Io Sky, and what happened there? Being the bad guy? Just saying. Just saying. Nah, look, I know you're a fan, but let's wait until WWE confirm these matches and stuff before we start saying what's going to happen. This is fantasy booking territory. It isn't facts at this point. They a lot more money for Julia than Mercedes? I don't understand. They spent a lot more money on Julia than Mercedes. I find that hard to believe. You have to show me the figures for that. Oh, here's Nick Aldis. I can't believe he's my age. I mean, exactly near enough my age. I might need, if you say so. I don't know. I don't I don't think I can't just take your word for it on that. I'm afraid I would need to see the numbers. It'd need to be from a reputable source as well, because I do find that incredibly hard to believe. It might be true, but I find that this is WWE offering more money or AEW. Are we saying WWE offered Julia more money than they offered Sasha Banks to return as Sasha Banks, as opposed to Mercedes Moné? Because let's be honest, if she came back to WWE, she'd be Sasha. Oh, Triple H is awesome, isn't he? What do we think of the new set? I'm still not fully on board with it. Oh, we got a QR code. Like I say, it's got to be this. I think it might be time for a source, because I think I'd need to see the numbers from a reputable source, if not. Although they did say Mercedes didn't go to WWE because they didn't offer her enough money. But I think Julia, in terms of the West, Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, is easily a bigger star, just without a shadow of a doubt, because she's already been at the top of the card in WWE. But I know for wrestling fans in general, Julia's a big deal, but I'm a hardcore wrestling fan. And I'd say Sasha Banks / Mercedes Moné is a much bigger deal than Julia. Maybe not forever, but right now, certainly. I think unless you watch Japanese wrestling or you follow indie women's wrestling quite severely, you're probably not going to know much about Julia. I only know who she is because I do this for a living. Observing stuff says, "Hi, I'm late." It's all right, mate. There's no curfew or anything. It's not an appointment. It's not a meeting. It's all good. Just gonna let this stupid cat out. One sec, guys. There we go. Thank you, everyone. So presumably, this is the SmackDown belts that are going to be as awkwardly named as the Raw belts. Triple H might have really saved WWE. I don't like every show, but things have gotten better. Yeah. Triple H is so much better working the crowd than Vince was. Well, I think Triple H cares about the audience, or at least he does a very good impression of it. So Vince, let's be honest, Vince was only booking for him, wasn't he? In recent years, Vince was booking for his entertainment, not ours. So that's the difference. Vince just stopped being good at this. And, I'm not going to talk about the allegations and that, but even before all that rubbish, he had already stopped being any good at this. So some people point to, well, the Roman Reigns thing was his idea. I'm sure it was. I'm sure he had a hand in it. Of course he did, but I don't know if he's solely responsible for the success of Roman Reigns' glorious heel turn and title reign. And let's just take a moment as well to appreciate how good we had it for the past couple of years, like with Roman Reigns. I know there was a few missteps and a few, it got a little bit samey and boring by the end. But my God, have we had some good TV with the Roman Reigns stuff, like the Sami Zayn things, the Jey Uso stuff. There's been some fun, really good matches as well. Some of them I saw, in front of my own eyes, live in person, and they were bloody brilliant. Highlight for me is, that McIntyre Roman Reigns match in Cardiff. I can't even tell you, wasn't even in the same country. Like Wales and Scotland are both part of the UK, but still different countries. And the crowd of the Welsh, the Scots, and the English were vociferous in their support for Drew, and the energy being sapped from the room when he lost was just, you had to be there. And then it happened again at Mania. I was there too. I was like, no. Anyway, without seeing the titles, I already know exactly what. Yeah, no, I know. Let's be honest. I think they look better. Me and Andy were talking about this before. I think they look a bit better, but I feel like they're going to name one World and one WWE, make one a bit blue and one a bit red, and it's like, is it not simpler to stick with Raw and SmackDown? I don't know. Or maybe just, oh, hello. So these are they called the Wrestling Championships? I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope they didn't do what I thought they were going to do and they've done something else. I'm not going to lie. I preferred the coin titles we saw the other day to the ones they've got now. Those are interesting. Austin Theory is so good at being a dick. He's just brilliant at it. Grayson Waller's just highly entertaining. I never want Grayson Waller to turn face. They look the same as the Raw tag team champs. They don't. No, the other ones are like coins, as Misfit said, aren't they? They're like little circular things. I don't think Andy was particularly fond of them. Hey, Adam Pearce is the unsung hero of those. Look like the old titles. Yeah, I'm kind of into it. So Street Profits music hit, but B-Fab and Lashley came out first. That was a bit weird. Anybody else find that a bit jarring? Yeah, they do look a little bit old school NWA or old school WCW, don't they? Old school WWF, if we're going to... Who was the last SmackDown GM observing? I forgot. It wasn't Daniel Bryan, was it? That was forever ago. I was just a wee lad in his early 30s. Now, put some effort into the other titles, WWE. See, I like the current big gold belt. I do. And I kind of like the current WWE championship as well. What else do I like? The two women's championships, I think, are just cheap knockoffs of the men's. And the names just don't even make sense. So, well, they make sense, but they're not unique enough in terms of naming them. Please win Street Profits. SmackDown last GM was a bald dude that got beaten up by Roman Reigns. Yeah, that was Adam Pearce. Yeah, Roman Reigns beat up Adam Pearce at one point, didn't he? Are you talking about Nick Aldis being tougher than Adam Pearce? That might make more sense. Because Nick Aldis is the... Bloodline story was a great one. And getting Sammy thrown into the middle of it was a stroke of genius. Yeah, here's the thing. When Sammy... the tag-along story didn't do a lot for me. It was only when... Sammy started getting over and doubting the Bloodline, where things started getting, oh my God, this is great TV. But yeah, this better be a tornado. I hate fatal four-way tag matches. Kayfabe breaking to hell. Although, 8 incredibly talented dudes, I think. Oh, so what's the name of the new GM? He's definitely tougher. Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, so the new GM is Nick Aldis, who... is awesome. But yeah, the previous guy is Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce is the current Raw GM, isn't he? Those titles are a mix of WWE Tag and World from the Ruthless Aggression era. Yeah. They did a lot of rectangle stuff back then, didn't they? Oh, wow. Look at that. I don't know if you guys are watching the same trailers, the same commercials I'm watching in the UK. That was amazing. Lots of cool dusty stuff there. Oh, yeah. You know, I've been teetotal for about a week. That doesn't sound like much, does it? Just because I drank so much over WrestleMania weekend, I was actually feeling ill. It was like... so every single day, we were... I got through 3 crates of beer from Thursday night to Monday, which is only is a few days, so it's not that bad. But it was crazy. So I've had a little bit of a dry out because it was bad. I went back to work and I was like, oh, I want a beer. It's the middle of the day. I thought I'm going to have to stop before I develop some kind of problem. Hopefully AOP doesn't ruin the Street Profits winning. But if they keep feuding, Or who else could they feud with? You think, see, it didn't blow off at Mania then, did it? Which, that's fine, but some stuff should blow off at Mania. You know? I saw the same thing. Oh, good. It's probably only now they split it, because I think we'll have UK ads, you guys will have States ads. Too much partying. Well, it's WrestleMania weekend, and I wasn't there. Like, I'm not going to lie, though. Like observing stuff, you probably know the story about the picnic Ant made us going into SoFi Stadium. Picnic isn't the word I'd use for what Ant really did, and bless him as well. And I probably should still give him some money for it because I didn't. But Ant went to the shop and got loads of 7% and 9% cans of really, really nice like craft beers. And we drank. And then we realized we couldn't take them into the stadium, but they were all such a stupidly high percentage that we all got wasted. We didn't want to waste them. Of course you don't want to waste them. So we smashed through all these cans of beer and we were all absolutely wasted. And I remember thinking, I'm going into the stadium for day 2 of Mania, and I'm like, well, let's be honest, because of WrestleSphere and because of Gimme a Whole Year, I've got work to do while I'm in there. I've got to like live tweet. I've got to do stuff. And I know when we start live tweeting, when we do this, we always have other platforms reach out to us and say, right, can we use your content? And they might offer to pay us or whatever it might be. It's just the way this stuff works. And I'm thinking, I'm way too pissed to even do this right. And I did, but so drunk. What's up? Hey, Mick Brook, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. It's a good episode so far, this. It's not quite the shock fest last week was, but so good. I think Mania should be the end of the majority of feuds, or at least an evolution, Oh, that sounds fun. There it was. We were absolutely wasted. There is a picture of us actually drinking that beer on Twitter and a few other places. I don't know. Where else is it? I don't know. Triple H heard the people who complained about Raw titles and was like, yeah, okay, just wait. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he's had time, though, to mint them. I bet he had these done weeks ago. Hey, Dan. Hey, Sam. I see what you did. That's last week as well, Daniel. Everyone liked the video. Thank you, Daniel. We should give you a job, mate. We really should. Observing stuff. You guys are tougher than me. Oh, it was only a few cans of beer, mate. But we're English. It's we're weaned on it. But I remember thinking, so like when I think of a picnic, right? I think of a plaid blanket, a nice wicker basket, some cucumber and salmon sandwiches, some crisps, a couple of chocolate biscuits, you can be some alcohol if it's a decent picnic. When I think of a picnic, I think of, scones, cream, all that sort of stuff. Not a shopping bag full of beer. That's a whole picnic. Let's call that right from now on. That's a whole picnic, is what we're going to call that. But no, it was still awesome. And we ate nachos and hot dogs and stuff when we went in there, so it was all good. You did good food in SoFi Stadium, actually. You have to remortgage your house to afford it, but like that time, Dan and I went to the store there, and we got some Stone Cold Steve Austin beers, and the girl says to me, $60, and I'm like, what? Just for a few beers? And because it's America, she wanted a tip as well, and I'm like, what do you want a tip for? All you've done is gone beep, $60. That's all you've done. Anyway, I gave her a tip because I'm nice. Best looking title since the NXT UK. See, that's funny that Andy was talking about the NXT UK championships earlier tonight, saying how much he likes them. And apparently, I don't know if it's the same on the States shop, but on the Euro shop right now, they're really cheap. So maybe I'll get one. If you buy a tag team belt, do you get 2? Stupid question, but I don't know the answer to it. So stuff's laughing at me. Get paid enough for boxing, we'll check you out. All right. Some of us scrape by with journalism. Nah, we do all right. Picnic makes me think of food being evolved. And that was just grown men getting wasted from what you described. Yeah, no, there were some Cheetos. There were some Cheetos in there. I'll give him that. The man got Cheetos. But yeah, that's not picnic, Anthony. That is a very welcome bag of beer. Picnic in the pissing down rain when you're a kid is fun. I don't think I ever did that. If I ever had a picnic as a kid, it was always nice and sunny. But it was certainly nice and sunny in LA at Mania. That was for damn sure. Bayley is not losing her WWE Women's Championship because she just won it. I'd be inclined to agree with you, Chris. Oh, okay. So you guys did have food. I probably could have dragged that with you guys too on a stomach hello. No, we were well satiated. We had been eating, but yeah, we went out for a meal after Mania. We went back to our hotel and we all had like a burger or something. If we can get a modern take like that for the Winged Eagle Championship for Cody, I'll take it. Yeah. See, I'd be happy with the one, the mock-up that they released on Twitter a few days ago or weeks ago now. And that was a nice belt. I don't know if that was intended to have been taken seriously, but that was the one. Yeah, that was just drinking what you guys did. Sounds funny. Oh, well, here's the thing. When you're away with your mates, you're in a nice foreign country, it's a lovely sunny day, you've got a skinful of beer, and you're about to go and watch WrestleMania, you're going to be in a good mood. We were in a great mood. We were all really pleased. Oh, flipping heck. Tyler Bate just got killed. Newcastle, the weather is different. Well, they say, I'm not going to lie, Daniel, you're only about 2 hours and a half away from where I am. But yeah, you guys do get it pretty rough in winter and the rain. The more north you go on the British Isles, the worse things generally get weather-wise. Andy always says, I live in the Midlands. No, I live in the Northwest, Andy. He's one of these, well, if you're south of me, you're in the south types. Yeah, if you're watching. Glad you guys had fun. Yeah, it was wicked. Wicked. For those wondering, Cody is not there tonight. He's on the UK tour. He certainly is. In fact, I watched Cody Rhodes this morning on Good Morning Britain on ITV. It was pretty cool. He was being interviewed by a bunch of journalists who normally just shout at politicians in the morning. But it was pretty good. Like, what was ace is they were all proper wrestling fans as well. They all knew everything, and one of the showbiz journos on that show has been to multiple WrestleManias. So that was pretty cool. They all knew their stuff. Cody had a good time. And Cody came across really well. It was nice just to wake up this morning, have a cup of tea in bed, turn on the TV. There was Cody Rhodes on Good Morning Britain. It was ace. I knew he was going to be there. I even set my alarm to wake up early and watch it. When you're abroad, getting pissed is the only thing to do, even if you're meant to be working. AOP isn't winning. They won't do heel versus heel with this. Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm not surprised WWE didn't have blue to the titles. Yeah, I am. Because they did it with the Raw ones, didn't they? Misfit, can you confirm? Because I wasn't listening because I was too busy yapping. But who would you rather listen to, me or Corey Graves? Don't answer that question. What have they ended up calling these belts? Because they had the word wrestling on them, if I'm not mistaken. So have they given them a different name? Or have they just replaced the word world with wrestling or something like that? Don't get me started on what they've named the women's belts. Just stupid. Belts look all right, but they just look like imitations of the dudes' belts. Can't they just have their own cool belt designs, Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Being 19 has its perks. Getting pissed is now without any worries with ID. Mate, I'm 36. And I'm finding an increasing amount of grey hairs. Getting ID'd has not been a problem for me for a very long time. I say that. It happens now and then. The last thing I got ID'd for, though, was a flipping magazine, and it wasn't even anything dodgy. It was like a gadgets magazine. I think I was, because I once did a bit of writing for them, so I just kind of wanted to see how it changed. So I bought it to take to Centre Parks, and the dude ID'd me for it. It's like, bro, it's Stuff magazine. It's a gadgets magazine. It's got a fit girl on the front of it, I suppose. That might be what he might have thought it was something dodgy. And I was like, I think I was about 28 or something. I don't know. Even that was a long time ago, 36. Raw was, okay. So Raw is the World Tag Team Championships. SmackDown is they've done that. SmackDown is the WWE Tag Team Championships. God damn it. That's exactly what they did with the women's belts. They went back to what they were called before. Stupid. That's just confusing and lame. They might as well stick with Raw and SmackDown, in my opinion. One's the world, but one's the WWE. Like, what? So what? One's not the WWE? What is it? The bloody AEW? It's stupid. And if one's not the world, does that suggest the other one's better than that one? You know what I mean? It's stupid WWE. I think they're doing it, aren't they? So I don't know. If only there was some form of brand split that they could use to signify, which belt belongs where. If only like one was red and one was blue to differentiate. I'll stop ranting. I got ID for a Red Bull, even though I had my driving license. God, I dread to think. I've nearly been driving now. I'm 36. I've nearly been driving for 20 years. That's crazy. Next year, be 20 years. That's mad. When I'm 37. No, I'm 37 this year. But I didn't pass my test for about a good 6 months in. So, yeah, it'll be about this time next year. I don't think I've said a single tag in this match. Maybe I should have been paying more attention. Look, I don't want to be mean when I ask this question. I mean, what is the point of Paul Ellering? Like, I'm happy to see him. He's Paul Ellering. He's a legend. I've got no beef. His daughter's doing really well in TNA. But, I mean, like, what... I get he's there to look sinister, but he doesn't really look sinister anymore because Karrion Kross is there. You know? You've been drinking the amount of years I would have been alive. Yeah, that's so true. I turned 30 this year. Don't worry, mate. It's not so bad. Now, I'm 37 this year. So when I start getting closer to 40, that's when I'm probably going to start feeling it and start getting annoyed. God, you're old, Sam. I know. I haven't even got any kids yet. Loving it. 2 salaries, no kids. Living the dream. Observing stuff says they won't do heel versus heel over Triple H. Yeah, well, yeah, he's done it here. Like we've seen it a few times. Like heel versus heel works just fine because somebody becomes the de facto babyface for the night, don't they? You know, or the biggest the biggest villain is always the fills the role, doesn't he? I remember a great example of that was when it was a Survivor Series, and it was Baron Corbin versus The Miz. Because one of them was United States champion and one of them was IC. So Baron Corbin proper healed it up, and The Miz was kind of a plucky baby face that night. Maurice was getting some abuse from Baron Corbin, and Miz got all like fired up and went and beat him up. Although Maurice did then hand him some brass knucks. So yeah, it was all right. That was heel versus heel. It worked really well. But sometimes heel versus heel does de facto turn somebody babyface, like Samoa Joe. What was it? Like, I think he was a heel as well, but because Seth Rollins at the time was such a bigger heel. We all just wanted to see Joe kill him. The match has been entertaining to me. Yeah, me too. Yeah, the old man is there for no real reason. I don't have kids either, and I love it. Like, look, we will. I'm sure we will, but we're just kind of waiting for, well, not the right time, I suppose, but like when we're ready, we have conversations, but we'll leave it there. We constantly get asked about it, and it's like I'm running out of ways of telling people to F off, politely for asking us about it. Also, Vince not being there is a reason for Triple H to stick to. Yeah, exactly. Like, I broadly agree with the heel face dynamic broadly, but it makes sense to deviate from it when it makes sense to. Or if you have a tournament, you're likely to have a heel facing a heel at some point, or a face versus a face at some point. And sometimes face versus face can be incredibly tense, but it has to be the right face versus another face. Otherwise, it just has no heat and feels crap. But I like heel versus heel because it's kind of like King Kong versus Godzilla, Freddy versus Jason, kind of a thing. So I kind of, and it allows one of the heels to be a bit of an anti-hero. So I'm kind of into heel versus heel. I love heel versus heel because the more unpredictable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You ever want to turn someone face, have them go up against a bigger heel. Simple as that. 19. Yeah. Oh, like, mate, especially if you live at home as well. Like, I remember living at home when I had my first job, my first proper job. And I remember thinking, this is ace. But back then, what I thought was a lot of money compared was actually quite funny. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. When you're young and you have your first job, it's a great feeling. I think Dunbait will take this. Yeah, maybe. I like when they leave the room. Leave room for people between us, like AJ Drew and probably others. Well, here's the thing. I think AJ and Drew started as tweeners, but I think now they're solidly heels. But what they are is sympathetic and justified heels. Like their reason for their villainy, particularly with Drew, is understandable. Like, Drew did get screwed over and stuff like that, but Drew has been the hero so long, he's become the villain. So and he's now become so angry and bitter, he's become delusional, like most heels. So the Drew story is really good. Like this Chad Gable story is really good as well. Chad gave Sami Zayn the special sauce to defeat Gunther, but he wasn't capable of it himself. So he thought, because he was the one who gave Sami that, he'd be the guy to then take down Sami and get the belt off him, when he wasn't. All he did is complete Sami's picture. He didn't ever have the full picture himself. It's great storytelling. And the realization that he's not good enough has now turned Gable in vicious into a heel, and it's good storytelling. In many ways, Gable is justified. Liv Morgan, another great example. Liv Morgan was put on the shelf by a heel, Rhea Ripley. The minute she's healthy again, she comes back and gets revenge. But by now, the audience likes Rhea Ripley. She's become a brilliant champion. And Liv has come back and done something horrible to Rhea Ripley. And is now, the story is, she's like, I'm the good guy in this story. Why are you on her side? It's really, really good. Have I missed a couple of comments? Triple H did heel versus heel when he cooked Roman versus Logan Paul. Well, you see, I actually interpreted Logan as a babyface during that. Like, Logan was still cocky and he was Logan Paul, but he was quite. There was a lot of babyface dynamics at play as well. It was only after that he became an absolute shitbag. But yes, he had been a heel before that with The Miz and everybody else. I'd go and get more, but I've run out. I love heel versus heel because it turns into bad meets evil. Yeah. My favourite one was when, one of my favourites was when Roman Reigns got run over And Samoa Joe was actually looking for Roman Reigns to go and kick the crap out of him. But Samoa Joe witnesses the attack and then actually protects Roman, even though he's a heel. He was originally set out to hurt him. He protects him because even though he's a heel, he doesn't want Roman Reigns to die. So I thought that was good storytelling. He kind of stood over and shouted at the guy to go and get help and stuff. So that was a good way of suggesting that just because Samoa Joe is a heel doesn't mean he's a bloody killer or anything like that. It was good storytelling. Although they botched that story by making Eric Rowan the guy who ran over Roman, and Daniel Bryan was even horrified as well, who was a heel at the time. It has to be the right two faces to work. LA Knight versus Kevin Owens would work just fine. Yeah, because one's cocky and arrogant, the other's short-tempered and vicious. Yeah, that would work really, really well. It's good for it's good for baby faces to have negatives, to have foibles, like Kevin Owens' anger problem. Cody's raid has been boring. I want Roman back. Oh, let it go. Roman's story had to come to an end. Let's be honest, we were getting the same match every few months with Roman. I'm a massive Roman. I mean, I'm wearing a Shield top, and here I'm wearing a Roman Reigns t-shirt. What more evidence do you need? But no, the whole purpose of a heel champion having a long and dominant reign is to get taken down by the biggest babyface in the company, which is exactly what happened. So, see, it's only been 2 weeks as well. Come on now, give him time to cook. We haven't even seen where it's going yet. In 6 months' time, if you're bored, okay, but 2 weeks I don't know is quite long enough to judge a title reign. If we're being fair, let's see where they go with this. And Roman Reigns will be back, and may well be champion again, but trust me when I say Cody's holding that for a while. And Roman Reigns has more stories to tell without a championship that are far more interesting. What happens to the Bloodline without the title is a fascinating thing to consider. Look what's going on with Solo Sikoa. That's great. Last week, that was great TV. A Bloodline civil war. Sign me the hell up. Survivor Series, one Bloodline team in War Games, one side of the Bloodline going up against another side of the Bloodline, Samoan versus Samoan. I can't wait for what they're doing with this Bloodline story now. And the longer Roman Reigns stays away, the more gravitas Roman Reigns has. It's as simple as that. And let's not forget, from a real life point of view, Roman's got his health to think about. Roman is still undergoing chemotherapy for leukemia. I thought that was an open secret, but he revealed it very openly at the last press conference. That's something we had already heard, but we didn't talk about on the podcast because it wasn't our place to. But remember when I said a couple of times we might need to consider Roman's health? Well, there you go. Roman is in remission from leukemia, but he isn't 100% out of the woods. So when people whinge about him not turning up to work, people need to shut the hell up. The guy did all that while in remission from leukemia. That the guy's a goddamn hero in real life, an absolute bloody warrior. So let's give Roman Reigns the time he needs, and hopefully we'll see him again when we can, because there are stories to tell, baby. There are stories to tell, and that is what I'm here for. Great matches and stories. Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan is the best example. Yeah, that was awesome. How good was that? Was that Survivor Series? That was bloody brilliant. And Daniel Bryan had wanted that match for so long as well. Justified heels to me are tweeners. Yeah, fair enough. Well, I don't know if they are, because I think a tweener is an anti-hero who ultimately does the right thing, but will RKO you afterwards. That Randy Orton, for example, Randy Orton, even at his most babyface, is still a scorpion. He will still sting you just because he's a scorpion. Where Drew McIntyre right now has become delusional, And like everything he did with CM Punk, waving the belt in his face and doing that, that's what a heel does. Like Drew McIntyre has gone so far. Like he was justified in why he turned. He was a victim of the bloodline. He had every reason to be angry. But Drew has now gone past the point of sympathy. But because he took so long in doing that, it was brilliant storytelling. It's like Marvel Comics. If you look at most Marvel Comics villains, a lot of them are good guys gone bad. And it makes for compelling characters. Spider-Man's a great example. A lot of Spider-Man's rogue gallery are his former benefactors and teachers and things like that, like Kurt Connors the Lizard, his former professor. Doc Ock, his Nobel Prize-winning hero. Green Goblin, his best friend's dad, and essentially a father figure to him. Venom, his peer, another journalist. So, like, it's really, really good. And that's like Marvel Comics have realized that's how you make a compelling villain. And WWE seem to have clocked onto that as well and are doing the same thing. I love it. It's only been 2 weeks, Dan. Yeah, he's right. He's right. It has only been 2 weeks. Let's let him cook, man. Let's let him cook. I felt like Gable's turn was predictable. How's Gable's team respond? Well, this is weird observing stuff because apparently it's only you and me who do. Because I've been talking to the guys about this, and so many people are mad at the Chad Gable because it should have been him. And it was like, I'm not being funny. The story always was Chad's not good enough. So he was always going to turn. It was obvious from before Mania, in my opinion. Like, they were not building Chad Gable up to be a generational babyface. They were building up Sami Zayn to be a generational babyface because he is. Chad might get there one day, but right now the story is Chad wasn't the guy. And Chad is furious because he wasn't the guy. It's a good story. We've seen it many times before, but it was good. So you saw Logan as a face. The fans have their takes. Yeah. Well, in that particular instance, he was booked as the babyface because Roman Reigns was the ultimate heel. So, Roman Reigns has been the big bad. Never mind The Rock calling himself the final boss. Roman Reigns has been the final boss for 3 years now. But somebody beat the final boss. Somebody beat Roman Reigns. So Logan was just another person who failed. But in that feud, Logan was booked as the face. Go back and watch some of the press conferences and stuff. Logan was he was still him. He was still cocky and arrogant, but he wasn't a villain where the United States Logan Paul we've had for the past few months has been a bit of a shitbag. I'm brilliant at it. Who wins this match? Well, now you know. So Sonic the Hedgehog wants Roman back too. He'll come back. Let him do his thing. Let's give him the time he needs. We are getting fresh new match for WWE title at Backlash. Oh, baby. Question is, am I going to be at Backlash? I don't know yet. Like, I'm not going to lie. It'd be good to be at Backlash. All I have to do is jump on a quick flight and I'm there. So, but I'm like, if I'm not there, I'm not hugely bothered either because it would be nice to kind of not have to jump on a flight and do all of that as well. So I don't mind either way. I want to see Jay and Jimmy back together. Now that, Daniel, I think you'll get quite soon. I think it's only a matter of time before Jimmy gets a beat down again. Or maybe Jay gets a beat down and Jimmy comes out to save him. Then maybe Jay rejects him. And then it happens again. But this time he doesn't reject him. You know how they do these get back together things in wrestling? I think it'll be like that. But yeah, like we are going to, I predict in the next few months, we're going to see a moment where Jimmy and Jay together super kick solo and then look at each other like, that is what I think is going to happen. So, but right now, what they're doing with Solo Sikoa is money. This match is good. It certainly is. A show Roman would miss. Yeah, no, you're right there, Misfit. No, I see what you're saying. But again, I don't hold that against him because for starters, it built up heat. quite nicely. It was. I will give you that. It was too much. But it built up heat. And scarcity creates value, especially in wrestling. It just does. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns and the Undertaker, people like that are attractions because you don't see them every week. That's just a thing. You want to make something worth more, make it, see less of it. Simple as that. That's, every marketer knows that. But also his health. Let's not forget Roman has very, very serious health issues. And I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but like the guy's beat leukemia 3 times. He might not be so lucky one day. I don't want to, get anyone upset, but Joanna White, with that disease, keeps coming back for him. It might end up. I hope not. I hope not. I do anything for that not to be the case. But let's not take for granted this guy, or let's not misunderstand the severity of his illness, because leukemia is not a laughing matter, and he might not one day. I don't even want to consider it, but my point is, if Roman Reigns needs time off, he should be given time off, and we shouldn't question it. It's that simple. The fact that the guy is still a wrestler is a testament to how goddamn strong he is. So just remember that, and the fact that he continued to play that role after literally he was in remission the entire time of his title reign. That's insane. So I think we can forgive him for being a bit of a part-timer, personally. Like, I don't know if you know much about cancer and leukemia. If you don't, go and have a look. But I tell you what, cancer touches everybody's life eventually. Even if it isn't you personally, it's someone you love. It's come for people I love. And some of them are okay and have beat it. Some of them didn't. So, and I'm not teaching people to suck eggs here. I'm sure a lot of you already know this, and I've lost people to cancer. But every time you think of Roman Reigns, have that in the back of your mind, and be thankful for what we got. And hopefully we'll see him again. But give the guy the time he needs, because what matters for Roman Reigns right now is to just be healthy and come back when he feels he can come back. And he's also a human being who's free to pursue other opportunities, be it movies or whatever else. He's a private citizen who can do what he wants. So I personally hope we see him in a wrestling ring very soon, but hopefully SummerSlam. So Hedgehog is saying, when will he come back? Well, I heard SummerSlam, but that might not be right. So we'll see. He didn't even say goodbye. Well, let me explain. Roman Reigns as a character has appeared on some vignettes since losing the belt. They are on YouTube. There's one of him on a treadmill talking about getting back to where he needs to be. So the character, as far as we all need to know, is in the gym preparing. So the question is, what's he preparing for? But when a heel loses a title like that, they don't say goodbye. They slink off and lick their wounds, which in kayfabe right now is what Roman Reigns is doing. Roman Reigns is licking his wounds, plotting his revenge. And the longer he plots that revenge, the more anticipation there will be. And as Misfit said, he's a heel. Why would he? Heels generally don't give heartfelt goodbyes. They disappear. They slink off. And right now, I don't know if you guys agree, Roman Reigns is one of the best heels in the business. And Roman Reigns, I have a new appreciation for since he lost that belt. Because it was getting a bit old. It was getting a bit tiresome. This WrestleMania just gone was the right time for Roman to lose the belt. It's been brilliant, but it was the right time. But that doesn't mean the story ends there for Roman. Of course it doesn't. He just walked away. Yeah, he did. He lost. He was embarrassed. He slinked off. Disgraced. The bad guy was defeated. The hero took him down. That's the story. But you haven't seen the last of it. I promise you that. War Games. Roman, Jay, Jimmy versus the New Bloodline. See, maybe I think it might be more complicated than that. I think Roman will have his troops and Solo will have his troops. But I don't know. It's a good point, Daniel, but it might not shake out that way. Who else is there we can throw into the mix? There's Solo Sikoa. There's Tama Tonga. We all know by now that Jacob, thank God, Jacob Fatu has been signed. Now, hear me out, but I know he's not an Hawaii, but neither's Tama Tonga. What the flip? KO. Oh, they are really making Tama Tonga out to be a loony, aren't they? Bullet Club, bitch. But yeah, hear me out. Zion Quinn. He's a Samoan. I know he's not one of the Anawais, but who cares? This is wrestling. It's not real. We do what we want. Yeah, Street Profits won. That's a delayed reaction. Or am I just that behind on comments? Let's move. I think Ford was a bit rough with his finisher. Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano was technically... Yes, it was. As Johnny didn't really turn heel. Yeah. Roman will return as a face and beat Solo's ass. See, that's a good story right there. I think Seth is going to turn heel. He might, yeah. Like, he'd be justified as well, but it could make sense. But part of me doesn't want them to. Part of me wants... Because I feel like with Seth... Like, let's not forget, Seth Rollins was the guy who ripped out Rey Mysterio's eye. You know, Seth Rollins was a vile heel. And I think his redemption only truly came when he helped Roman lose. We helped Cody win and took a chair shot from Roman as one final revenge for breaking up the Shield. I think Seth has struggled being a true good guy until right now. That's just my opinion. But go on, Kevin. What an absolute badass. But that's just my opinion. I think I've always struggled to take Seth Rollins seriously as a babyface since the whole Rey Mysterio eye for an eye angle. I've not been able to forget it because it was so goddamn bad. But anyway, Roman's going to return like Lesnar and beat Solo's ass. Solo's being built up to be a mad supervillain. Yeah, pretty much. Good storytelling. I love it. Rollins is going to be for a while. He's just had surgery. Yeah. And also, it makes sense. Like, Rollins went out on his shield like a conquered warrior. He sacrificed everything. He lost his championship. He, figuratively took a bullet for Cody. Let's not forget one of his someone he had spent the better part of a year feuding with. Remember the Hell in a Cell match? So it makes sense for Rollins to like disappear broken and then come back after that, as a conquering warrior, as a survivor of a war. But yeah, Rollins needs a bit of time off, and the guy just wants to spend a bit of time with his kid as well. New camera angles make me so happy. Yeah, they are awesome. Me and Andy were talking about that earlier. The most laziest booking ever. A battle royal, lol. I love a good battle royal. Battle royal on Monday Night Raw to crown the next. That is terrible. The battle royal, should confirm one contender, and something else should make another contender, in my opinion. Hi all, how is everyone? Hello, Michael. Nice to see you, mate. I'm glad you're here. Sam, are you watching TNA tomorrow? Yes, Michael, I will be watching TNA. But it won't be tomorrow night, and it won't be here. It'll probably be Sunday morning with a cup of tea, more than likely. You're right about Roman beating leukemia. Exactly. We've got to always remember with Roman, like he's fighting a terrifying opponent in real life. But he's making that mother trucker tap out. That's a trucker, YouTube. Shout out to the guy in the crowd dressed as Bray Wyatt. Yeah, I clocked him at the start of the show. Crowd is chanting for Roman. Roman is now a babyface. There you go, boys and girls. I think as well, people are starting to realise I can't wait for Roman to be back. I don't want him to be champion for a long time, but I can't wait to see what they do with him story-wise. That's wild. Jacob for 2. Oh, hell yeah. Really? Zilla for 2? WWE forgot Zion Quinn was employed. What is going on there? Can someone explain it to me? Because I don't know. Oh, this ad is making me want to go on the Euro store. There are some good deals on the Euro store. I ain't ready to wear a CM Punk shirt, WWE. But we're not going to get into that this week. Owen's bleeding, yeah. Got his ass kicked. Is Paul going to leave the bloodline and go back to Roman or go with someone else? Paul? Oh, Paul Heyman. We'll have to wait and see, mate. Because do you know what I think is going to happen? Roman Reigns is going to come back and try and be like take control of the bloodline. And I think Heyman's going to side with Solo. Because that's who Paul Heyman is. This will be a shocking moment. And it'll be great. Has to happen at a pay-per-view. Blood indeed. KO is a bloody mess. Blood. You're all a bunch of bloodthirsty swines. Solo has skyrocketed to the biggest heel. You are, yeah. This, guys, this is why. Evolution. The show must go on. The story continues. Solo Sikoa was in NXT not long ago. Look at him now. KO is amazing. KO's been brilliant for 20 years. When I heard that Shield music at Mania, I thought it was Dean Ambrose. He's back. Nah, not a sniff. But I thought for a moment, I dared to think, I thought, oh my God, is it really? I remember thinking, because the last time they referred to him, they like Seth has called him Mox a couple of times on WWE TV. So, which is pretty cool because it's almost like they're respecting his gimmick in AEW, which is a nice touch. So, God, I was tired earlier. That whiskey is sorting me right out. But yeah, I thought so too. But I remember thinking, I wonder if AEW have said to him, right, go and do this spot. We understand it's important to you. Come back next week. Because if that had been the case, that would have been a really nice moment. Because I'm desperate to see AEW and WWE not work together, but have some mutual respect. Because I feel like at the moment, WWE are giving that respect, but AEW are like, yeah. So I kind of want that to change a bit. 1 second. Whew. That's better. Blood looks like paint. GM is a face. No, that's just a tribute to John Moxley. What is? Who do you think the promos are for TNA? Promos? I'm not so sure. WWE drafted Zion Quinn with zero plans to use him. Yeah. I DM'd you the QR. Oh, nice one. I'll look at that. I won't look at it tonight because as soon as this is done, it'll be 3 a.m. for me. You got to remember. So I'll be straight to bed. So if I never reply after one of these streams, it's because I'm fast asleep. I can imagine War Games, Seth, Roman, and Dean. I'm afraid not. I think with Moxley, which is what we have to call him now, because that's his name in wrestling. I don't think you're ever going to see him in a WWE ring full time ever again. It'd be lovely if he came back just to do a spot like we thought, but even that's unlikely. Like Moxley didn't burn his bridges like worse. Like if Bret Hart can come back, anyone can come back. You know, it's like, but and it's a new era. And like CM Punk came back, so I mean, it's a new era now as well. Vince is gone, the mad old man is gone. So never say never. But I think Moxley's happy doing what he's doing, bleeding on everyone, and having very, very overrated matches. The guy can go. He's a really good wrestler. Why he insists on doing deathmatch BS all the time is beyond me. But I bet deathmatch BS every now and then is great. But when it's every match, or nearly every match. Good move keeping Solo in the background and not letting him say a lot for long. Yeah, totally. That's what Heyman's for, isn't it? Heyman's the mouthpiece. Oh, sorry, I keep scratching my nose in that gross way. Like right now, I mean, dude, look what I'm wearing. But I think it's unlikely because we've had the Shield reunite that last time and do what they had to do. I think if WWE did it now, it would just be a case of, I think moving on and finding a new stable and doing something new is what they got to do. I feel like now resurrecting the Shield would be like resurrecting the NWO. People would be like, what? They'd pop. But then the minute it went to TV, they'd be like, oh, what now? You know, like Moxley's happy where he is. Seth is in a new role and Roman is in a new role. And if you ask me, right, this is just unpopular opinion, but the Bloodline was better than the Shield ever was. Sorry. And I'm wearing the jumper. Moxley has zero desire to come back to WWE. But again, never, ever say never. It's a new regime. Everything's changed. But, yeah, I mean, you heard him on Talk is Jericho. I know that was a few years ago now. And the world, like, I mean, CM Punk came back. Let's never, ever say never. However, right now, he's good where he is. Oh, I see. Sorry, dude. There's been creepy videos. Oh, yes, I have seen them. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I haven't got a foggiest. I'm a week behind on TNA. I've been so busy with work. I think I caught up on what I needed to catch up on, but I need to. What I need to see again. I've just seen. Oh God, I haven't done a vote like all night, have I? Hassan, you're here. Did one of my Gimme a Whole Year co-hosts come in and remove the ticker? Or did I do that? I'll have to find out tomorrow. Hang on. Oh, no one's texted me. That'd be funny if they did. There've been so many comments tonight. I've just been too busy. So yeah, Hassan, I'm not going to do a vote, mate, because these comments are moving so fast. Oh, this is so damn good. But Hassan, noted. You vote for Carlito. I vote for Santos. Yeah, the only way he appears at WWE is the Hall of Fame. Again, I'm not so sure. I think you're probably right, Misfit. I think you're probably right. But we're living in an age where CM Punk went back. But CM Punk, let's be real. CM Punk went back because he had. This is a guy who went to AEW, bitched about WWE. It's the place that got me ill. I got so ill. I went away. And then the minute he fell out with people there, came back to WWE and whinged about AEW. So I can't help thinking whoever CM Punk's not in the room with, he whinges about. But I still can't wait to see what he does with McIntyre. It's simple as that. I wouldn't want to go for a drink with him, but I can't wait to see what he does. I'm so over the Shield reunion part 637. All Bloodline versus New Bloodline at a pay-per-view. Now that, Daniel, I think you're going to get. If the money is right, you never know. Well, here's the thing, Daniel. Remember the classic line that Moxley or Dean Ambrose said on Talk is Jericho? What do I need that money for? What am I going to do? Buy a Maserati? I don't want the money. What I want is creative freedom. I've got enough money. I don't think he's motivated by money. I think he's motivated by doing what he wants to do at work. I know the feeling. So, yeah, like, how rich do you need to be before you're like, Sometimes when you've got enough money, it's worth just enjoying what you've got and living the life you want to live. You know what I mean? So good, dude. I think a lot of people are motivated by money, but I genuinely believe Moxley when he says he's not. There are some people I wouldn't believe when they say that, but do you know what I think Moxley wants to do? Bleed on TV every week. That's what I think motivates him. Triple H is apparently not a fan of John Moxley. Oh, well, there you go. But is he a fan of Dean Ambrose, Misfit? Who's a very different character. Oh, this is such good shit. Let's be real. They only did the Shield reunions to make Roman look good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Agreed. It was good storytelling, though, at the time. It was good storytelling. I'm back. Welcome back. Is Roman still ahead of the table? Or is it The Rock? Right. Well, right now, Roman Reigns is still ahead of the table. The Rock, I think we're going to see The Rock being a string puller for behind the scenes. I do still think we are destined to get a Roman Reigns Rock pay-per-view main event. I really do. I don't know when, but a plan was SummerSlam, but I don't know if that plan has changed. Probably has. But Solo Sikoa appears to be making a play for power, doesn't he? But Roman is officially still ahead of the table. The question is, where does it go from here? Oh, screw it. Let's do it. Nope. The Rock is the one giving the orders. That's what I'm saying. I think he's the string puller. They haven't said anything on SmackDown. Have they said something on SmackDown tonight about that? Is he the one pulling Solo strings? Or is Solo making this bid for power? Because now the plan is for Rock Mania. Not going to lie, guys. Cody Rhodes this morning teased it on Good Morning Britain. So I think Misfit might be right on that. The question is, where does Roman Reigns factor into this? Because he's gonna. I think Roman has one more match versus The Rock. Maybe. See, I think Misfit's right. I think The Rock versus Cody Rhodes at Mania is probably what we're getting next year. But I do think The Rock versus Roman Reigns is also very important and needs to happen at some point. And the only other stage that can really happen, well, they could do it at Saudi Arabia, couldn't they? It needs to be at a big stage, either SummerSlam, a Saudi Arabia show, or a Mania. Simple as that. And with The Rock being on the board now, he's going to have a foot in WWE for a bit. We can bank on that, which is awesome, really. Oh, really? Well, that's a shame. They didn't do enough with her, did they? Has she been released, or has she gone off her own accord? I mean, like, have they given her the push, or has she jumped? That's annoying. They should have left her in NXT. Do you know what they should have done with her? Left her in NXT, being the hatchet woman of that creepy woman in a chair. They decided, I've forgotten her name, who they repackaged as Wendy Chu. I hate that gimmick. The was it Li Ming? Mei Ling? Gimmick was terrifying. They should have kept that going. Quite why they abandoned that, I don't know. She just tweeted, well, that's a shame. Roman comes back and says, Jay and Jimmy, I acknowledge you both. I need you to... It's good fantasy booking, Daniel, and I actually think you might be onto something. I like if Misfit's right, and he sometimes is, often is, 99% of the time, Misfit. We'll give you that. Then we could have like The Rock and his cronies versus Roman and the Usos. That'd be great fun. So we need to see where it goes. But I think you might be right. The question is, where does everyone shake out? But Bloodline Civil War, that's happening. Like, that's pretty much confirmed now, isn't it? Sam, I probably have asked you this already. Have you played Multiversus? I haven't, Michael, but that's only because, yeah, here you go, Misfit. I only haven't because it's not really my kind of game, and I'm at the moment like the amount of games I've had to play for work recently. I'm not complaining, but I have to be so selective with what I play because usually what I play is whatever I need to play for work. And you might be interested to hear, Misfit. Sorry, Michael. I'm tired. It's nearly 3 a.m. So, Michael, at the moment, I am playing something new. And let's just say it's been stellar. I'm not doing the review, but I am doing all the content stuff. So, but yeah, it's been stellar, shall we say. Oh, look, someone bladed. Yes, Jay, you look great. Now wrestle. Hang on, anyone would think this was set up. Usos come back together at King of the Ring. Ooh, that's a point. Yeah, they'll tease it out, won't they? They won't just do it next week. They will tease it out. There's Naomi with her not TNA theme. That TNA theme was such a banger, though. That's why they've done this. But yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past few days. Miplet. Oh, you right? I'm never watching WWE again. Justice for Jinder. I said to you, Jinder needs to hold every single belt in the company by next WrestleMania, or I'm done. So WWE, I want an explanation. See, here's the thing, Michael. I can't tell you that because I'm under embargo, so I couldn't possibly say that. What I will tell you is to look out for a review in the next few days. Won't be written by me, it'll be written by a friend of mine. But keep an eye on Deserto.com for our review. And that's when you will know how sharp or dull said blade is, or how stellar said blade could be. But see, I'm allowed to be naughty like this and say what I'm doing, but I'm not allowed to pass any judgment on it because I will get murdered. Well, that sucks because I think we can all agree that Jinder Mahal is the greatest wrestler who has ever lived, bar none. And if you disagree, you're just wrong. In fact, Jinder Mahal should hold every belt. Shouldn't even need to win it. It should just be a foregone conclusion. They'll just walk up to him, pass him the belts, and he holds them all forever. Every belt. Facts. Justice for Jinder. Do not make me go and put on my Indian outfit again that Rishab sent me because I'll do it. I don't know if you all watched that stream. That was pretty awesome. Bianca will turn on Jade at Money in the Bank. Oh, I sincerely hope it's the other way around. Not Jinder. Yeah, Jinder's the best. Oh, we're getting a Fallout ad. Awesome. Anyone watching Fallout? How good is Fallout? Seriously. The music, just brilliant. What type of game is it? Oh, did you not get my hints, Daniel? It's still a blade. I can't tell you how if it's good or bad or not or anything like that, but I can tell you I've been playing it. Nearly completed it too. I might try and complete it tomorrow if I can. But that's all I can say because I'm already being naughty doing that. But I have a bit of a gimmick where Michael asks me what I'm playing for work at the moment, and I give him a very, very, very crap hint. But I can't ever say like what I think of it because I'm under embargo, and I can get into a lot of trouble for doing that. So I don't. You know, we're given these rules and we're trusted with this stuff, so it's very important that we do it right. What's your favourite show to binge watch, Sam? Well, here's the thing with me. I generally watch something, and that's it. I rarely go back to something once I've seen it once. My two favourite TV series of all time are The Sopranos and The Wire. Breaking Bad's up there. Lost is up there. I used to flipping love Lost. Prison Break, I used to love that. Trying to think what else. Is there anything I can watch over and over again? I loved The Newsroom because of how well written it was. Right now, I've just watched. Who's texting me? Oh, cool. Someone liking my interview with Dana Brooke. Yeah, just watched Fallout. That was awesome. Love all the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus. Lots of stuff. I wish I had more time because the thing is with me, I'm always working. I'm either doing something wrestling related or something gaming related. I'm not complaining. I love my bloody job. Sam, would fancy Jinder versus Hook? Yes, Tony Khan. I know you watch this religiously. Book it. If Tony Khan watched this religiously, I'd never go to an AW press event again. Jinder Mahal can finally find out if yeah, let's do it. I'm so into that. Come on, they have to. This is wrestling. We can make stuff happen. Lol. Why are they showing us this again? Oh yeah, pay-per-view. My favourite show is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I do hope it's the original. Peaky Blinders. Hey, they're two solid choices, Daniel. I probably finished Fresh Prince of Bel-Air before you were born, which is really funny. Hey, there's Cody. What's the worst game you've ever had to review? I don't know. Shall we look? So I'm like a massive narcissist. I'm about to Google myself on Metacritic. Oh no, it'll be Disserto Metacritic. Oh no, I can Google myself. Open Critic. Here I am. Let's have a look. So this isn't all of them. But I'm just trying to get you with the right answer, Daniel. Well, look at me. Look at all my good reviews I've given. I gave Wolong 3 out of 5 stars. I gave The Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me 3 out of 5 stars. I don't come up with a numbering system, by the way. They do that. I gave Steel Rising 6.5. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance Remaster 6.5. Come on. Let's find a crap one. See, I only seem to get good games. Ooh, am I just way too safe? There's a lot of 8.5s, 8s, 4 out of 5. See, I liked Alone in the Dark where everybody else hated it. I gave Diablo 4 5 stars. Check me out. See, I didn't even give Elden Ring 5 stars. That can't be everything. I'm doing it for years. Yeah, I have given something like a 2 before. I vote for Naomi. Yeah, me too, dude. Sean Ross Sapp is looking into Xia Li, saying she's not with WWE anymore. Jinder saying he's quit. Something's gone down, hasn't it? It was on BBC iPlayer a few years ago, and I watched them all a few days. Same with Peaky Blinders. Oh, look at him. Little charmer. Simon, get 10 out of 10 stars from me. Hell yeah. Do you think Meltzer would give me 5 stars? No, he'd give me 7. Like he'd just go and smoke something and give me 8, wouldn't he? I mean that would love Dave. Next time I stand behind you in a queue to go into oh no, it was Alvarez. I was stood behind at All In. Dom and I very briefly stood behind Brian Alvarez. It was pretty cool. Didn't get to talk to him though, but we spoke to Sean Ross Sapp at Money in the Bank, and Sean, I thought he was a cool guy, really cool guy. When people are rude to him on Twitter, it's like, dude, seriously, you come at the king, make sure you don't miss. Because nearly everybody who comes after him on Twitter ends up with egg on their face. It's so funny. And these are all like people who know, like, yes, they're fans, but they think they're like on his level. It's so funny. Anyway, Xia Li was just promoted. Sorry, for the Battle Royal on Monday. Was just saying, what the hell? Well, not anymore. Something's going on, isn't it? I'd give Dan and Anne. I'm going to tell them that tomorrow morning. I'm going to say, guys, go to this point in the video and look at the comment. And I'm going to keep it on screen for a couple of minutes longer just so they see it. To be fair, I'd give them a lot higher than that, personally. That's a pretty weird, cool retro gaming top you've got there, Naomi. What's with the camera cut on the announcer? This is a bit experimental, isn't it, this? With the camera cuts. Not the cuts, but the... I don't know if I'm feeling that. Just for the drama. You all get 10 out of 10 from me. Good. That's what we like. I mean, I know post-Mania releases were bound to happen, but a week before the drafts is trying... Well, yeah. And are they releases? Or has there been some kind of fallout? Dun, 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 dun. I'm singing Fallout music. Stranger, I mean. Yeah. Like, here's the thing with wrestling, like, people get mad sometimes when releases happen. Releases happen all the goddamn time. Not just in wrestling, but everywhere. So it is what it is. But yeah, because neither of them were up to much, were they? I know I always go to bat for Jinder, but that's a kind of a gimmick. But I do think he's entertaining. And Xia Li, I thought was brilliant. But the thing. Having a minute. Am I still here? Ooh, here's a question. You are trying to get me into trouble, Daniel Wiley. You know I have to hang out with their PRs. Who don't I like watching? I could happily never watch another Chris Jericho match ever again. There you go. That's controversial. But I mean it. And that's got nothing to do with the Kylie Ray situation. It's just that I'm not feeling him anymore. In WWE. Oh, I'll answer your question. Right. I feel bad about this. I don't feel good about it. But I have to fast forward Thea Hale on NXT. The minute anything Chase U stanks up my screen, it gets fast forwarded. Thea Hale gets fast forwarded with extreme prejudice. I'd like Andy's like, what is wrong with you? When I tell him this, but I can't do it. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, best friends in AEW. Can't stand them. Fast forward them. Hate them. Can't do it. Although I am interested in the heel turn. That's got me like, that might redeem them for me. What else do I do? If AEW have a squash match, I fast forward it. To the point where I love Lance Archer, but I fast forward all his matches because I've already seen them all. I know what happens. He carries the jobber to the ring, throws them over the ropes, beats them up for 2 minutes. That's it. I've seen it. I don't need to see it again. It's just a waste of my life. I really hope Punk returns soon. Any update on ETA? Nice for joining us, Cody. All I know about Punk is we haven't ever been given an official ETA. SummerSlam would be the earliest, though, I'd imagine. The earliest. That isn't a given that he returns at SummerSlam either. So, but we'll see. Solo should be a main event, but this is okay. Yeah. I think I agree. If this match goes another 12 minutes at least, I have a bad feeling a few more people are going to get let go. It is what it is, mate. It's the industry. If they're not, we know who isn't and we know who is. At least we're not living in the era where they're flipping getting rid of like the Braun Strowmans and the Bray Wyatts and everyone's like, what? Do you remember that? That was just capriciousness by Vince. Nothing else. PW Insider has confirmed that Jinder Mahal's party wears WWE. Jinder, go reunite with the Bollywood boys and let's kick some ass. Is Trick Williams getting called up with Mello? I think Mello will be on his way soon enough. I think Trick, they want him to have, like, Trick is caught fire. So they will want him to have a bit of a run at the top of the card in NXT. But there's a lot of eyes on Trick. Believe that. So it looks like these are releases, doesn't it, Misfit? See, I don't mind Maxine Dupree, Mippler. I'm kind of rooting for her. Oh no, Zion Quinn's gone. What? I don't understand. What is the problem? Like, Zion Quinn. Just look at the guy. What went wrong with Zion Quinn? I don't get it. Why did they even call him up? What was the point? Why not just leave him in NXT so we could have weird flirtation with Elektra Lopez? Well, so much for my theory that he's going to the Bloodline. So much for that. Oh, if only we had a massive Samoan guy. Yeah, these are releases, boys and girls. Exactly, Cody. Exactly. Zion Quinn was a guy who appeared on NXT about 2 years ago. And really good, great look. Samoan tattoos like Roman Reigns and the Usos have got, cool hairdo. Everything was in hot pink, but it works for him. MMA gloves, almost like a kickboxing persona, with a little bit of, like Samoan kind of grappling thrown in there, like a lot of promise. And he was a top babyface on NXT for a few months, feuding with Santos Escobar and people like that. And then he just started appearing on Level Up. And people are like, what the hell? Why has he been demoted? And then he gets called up to the main roster. And we're like, oh, okay, we'll just look at the guy. You can see why. Appears a few times on main event. And he's never seen again. And now he's been released. What the hell? Can someone tell me what went on with Zion Quinn? This match is also good because neither women is trying to hurt each other. Yes, it's face versus face. They're trying to. But here's the thing: we've all seen matches like this. They have to get more vicious as the match goes on, don't they? If they want to win, they have to go to a darker place. People are saying they want Hook versus Jinder. Let's do it, Tony Khan. But the thing is, didn't Tony Khan have a temper tantrum on Twitter over Jinder Mahal? He's hardly going to sign him. He's going to go, oh, look, I was right. Look, I was right. That's what he's going to do. He ain't signing Jinder. TNA, however. TNA, sign Jinder Mahal. Make him forever TNA champion. Thank you. MMA gimmick. Should have made him the next Gotham. Well, he was just he just had Brock Lesnar has them as well, and The Undertaker has them often as well. The jiu-jitsu gloves. It was almost like a kickboxing gimmick. It was just really good. And I don't just Google the guy, Google a picture of him, or go on the Peacock and type in Zion Quinn, and you'll see one of his matches from NXT. The guy, I don't know if WWE felt he wasn't good enough in the ring, or maybe, I don't know if he was problematic backstage. I don't know what the hell. But Xia Li was brilliant in the ring. I don't think Jinder was brilliant in the ring. I think Jinder was pretty good. But those are 3 releases I just do not understand. Yes, none of them were doing anything, but that's not their fault. Nah. A bit annoyed, really. When the announcer says that could do it, there's going to be a kick out. Yeah, pretty much. At least they actually talk about the match in WWE these days. In AEW, they talk about all sorts of crap. It's like, dude, there's a match going on. Jinder Mahal. I can't believe the show's over, in fact. Has it been 2 hours? Jesus. That's me rubbing my eyes. It's nearly time for bed. Although I get less fresh as things go, as time goes on. Is there any whiskey left in this? It's a sad state of affairs when you're doing that, isn't it? Bayley ain't losing this. Oh! Either that was a botch or they're both bloody good, which we know they are. Do you know what I like about these two as well? They both look like wrestlers. They're both believable. I'm going to sleep. I've got a cold and it's doing my head in. So good night, everyone. Good night, Daniel. Thank you for joining us, mate. It's always nice. But yeah, there's a lot of crap going around, isn't there, at the moment? My wife has been perpetually ill for about 3 months. It's not her fault. She's a nurse. She works around ill people. I think she's made me superhuman. I think my immune system has become superhuman because she's she'll go home, she'll go to work, come back and bring it back. So I'm like, now. See, I've never had COVID, Will may I? No, I've never had it. I'm not saying I want it, but as far as I know, I've never had it. You can stay that way. Bayley's definitely winning. They should release Braun again. No, Braun's an attraction, man. Braun is never going to give you a technical showcase, but Braun is going to go rah and throw people around, which this is wrestling. And sometimes that's exactly what... Oh, hello. Tiffany Stratton. Night, Daniel. Thanks for joining us again, dude. I've never been diagnosed with COVID either. Don't think I've ever had it. See, Jess had it for a couple. She had it for a while. It only really impacted because it was after she had the vaccine, so she was all right. It probably would have been worse before it, but we were all vaccinated, so we weren't that worried about it after that. But she got it. It gave her about 2 days of discomfort, 1 day of like really severe coughing. She rested and then she was all right. But yeah, I somehow avoided it, and I slept on the couch for a couple of nights as well because we just thought it was best, just while she was coughing. And yeah, here we go. Prettiest moonsault ever. Amazing. She looks insane. Yeah, Braun is still injured. Braun's got a really severe injury as well, to be fair. Never had symptoms. See, I don't know if I've had it and then like just not known I've had it. You know what I mean? Because maybe I've been like asymptomatic or something. But no, never had it. Also, why do you wish people to lose their job? It is like, let's not get into it. Bloody hell. How do they manage that? You'd think you'd be a walking antibody by now. I had COVID, but I could still taste stuff. Yeah, Jess said she lost her taste for a bit. Bad ending. I don't know, mate. Anything with Tiffany Stratton, I'm not going to say that. You set me up for it, but I'm not going to say it. You all know what I'm going to say. WWE legit forgot Zion Quinn on the roster until they fired him. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Did they just like notice him in catering? Like, there's a 6'3" Samoan dude over there in MMA gloves. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this isn't bad. Yeah, so it's a shame, guys, that it ended on a bit of a sour note with the releases, but I'm sure I'll wake up tomorrow morning and I'll see what's going on. But I hope everybody who's released, finds work in the industry elsewhere. That's all I can say. Legit, COVID feels like allergies to me now, but I definitely think it was something to do with my heart issues. Oh dear God, mate, that sounds rough, dude. In other news, guys, look, thank you all for joining me again. It's fun when we do this. I know I'm a zombie by the end because it's in the UK right now. It's 3 a.m, so I'm ready to just keel over, which is exactly what I'm going to do. But yeah, I'll see you next week. Join Dan for Raw. Join Anthony for Dynamite. I think we might see Dom. Dom might be back with some more Uncle Howdy updates. I might do a hot take at some point. But yeah, go and watch the stream we did with Andy earlier tonight. Lots of good stuff coming. I don't think we're going to do the TNA stream tomorrow night because I'm the TNA guy and I'm here doing this right now. So if we don't end up going to Backlash, then you'll probably see me on the Backlash stream. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, let's have an outro from somebody cool. Now, I gave you two earlier. I gave you Shotzi and Biggie. So who are we going to have to play us out? Oh, it's got to be. See you soon.
This is the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. Well, hello and welcome to Give Me a Hall Yeah. I hope everyone there, right there in Yorkshire, is having a nice day. Bang, bang. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Night, everyone.